everybody, John and Heather here from our Hodgepodge Homestead. Today is the day we've been pretty excited about. I believe you guys are going to be excited about it too. This is going to be our first
week one of our garden tour.
Yeah, week one of our garden tour. So
it's Memorial Weekend. Today is May 30th.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Bella.
Our oldest granddaughter turns 11 today. So let's go ahead and start this. Welcome to the garden. Come on in. Yeah, so as you walk in, we've got a couple cattle panels over the top.
Let me just kind of show.
Yeah, our goal is to have wisteria growing over this. If you guys have never grown wisteria, it's an awesome plant. You can manipulate that plant to go wherever you want it to go. It's super cool. It's going to make this just a grand entrance. So we're really excited. We've got it started down here in the corners.
We're hoping these cuttings take place. They were from my grandmother's original plant, and then my aunt had them, and then I got them. So they're right. There's one planted right behind this bucket. You probably can't see it, and another one in this corner here. We did plant them in the ground because we weren't sure how they would do in these raised boxes. Here we have 4 loofah plants because the wisteria we don't anticipate to take off this year. We wanted something to fill the entrance, so we have that on both sides. And some petunias that need to go in more pots.
Yeah, so years ago when Heather and I really first started antiquing and going around together, we discovered the joy of finding old funnels. And Heather decided that she was going to put flowers in all of these funnels. So we've got funnels hanging all over the place. They're super cool. When we were buying them, they were $3, $4, $5 a piece. Next thing you know, the world decided they loved them too, and they skyrocketed. Same with watering cans.
Yep.
Pyrex. That always happens to us when we start something. And then the rest of the world
yeah, because we definitely started that fad. Yeah, right.
So come on into the garden. We've got start off. We've got this little workstation here. We've got our mulch and our peat moss and stuff underneath, and then just different tools. We cut part of an old tote off. We just keep our tools under there and just oddball stuff. This hole right here is to put a funnel down in, so when Heather wants to do a funnel, it sits right down in there and she can put her dirt and everything in it and it doesn't go anywhere. And we might as well start right here in the first row.
All right.
Something pretty cool that I didn't video, and I probably should have videoed it, but if you see right here, I've got a water hose coming up out of the ground. It comes from that 5-gallon bucket, which travels underground over to our greenhouse, which travels from there to the house. I just got tired of dealing with having to move water hoses and all that every time I mowed or tripping over them in the yard. So we took I went and bought 200 feet of 1 1/4 inch black nylon pipe, and just put it underground, and we fish the water hose through, and then each fall we'll pull the water hose out, and we're going to tie some paracord to one end of it, so that when springtime comes, we just hook the hose back up to that paracord, pull the hose right back through. I don't want to deal with trying to blow them all out and not doing it right and having them, my hoses freeze underground, because they're only about that far in the ground, just deep enough.
Yeah, they would
the
definitely freeze.
Yeah, so all right, anyway, garden tour. The first bed. Oh, let me tell you guys one thing about this whole garden. While I'm talking, I'm going to have Heather do just like this little panoramic view around, but everything that's wood in this garden, fence posts, the raised beds, the entranceway, the beds coming in the entranceway, the mulch, the dirt that went in the boxes, the donkey poop that went in the boxes, cost us nothing. We
got very lucky and blessed.
Yeah, like I said, I had to pay for screws. We had to pay for, obviously, the rolled fencing. But other than that, absolutely free. Friends of ours, John and Kathy Proctor, they were able to get us the topsoil, and we got the donkey poop from them, and John drove his tractor to a place where we can get it, put it on a trailer. I brought it home and scooped it right off there, and that's what did all this. So it was a lot of hard work. I was out here in the barn in the winter, freezing, pulling nails out of a lot of this old wood, and here we are. So let's start the tour. So here we are, our first bed. This is cabbage, and I'm not sure what type of pea that is. Sugar and pea.
Snap peas.
Snap peas. I can't wait for those to happen. Right here we've had one little larvae bug so far. We check these every day. So I built these little hoops out of cuttings off of the fences. So we've got the netting. So I think we're probably going to get the netting on here within the next couple days, just so we don't have to worry about it. But everything's in this bed's doing really good. Oh, that was just a fly. So we'll move on to bed number 2. We've got a couple different types of kale right here.
This is flowering kale on the end here, and those are just kale. They don't have a special name.
Yep, and then over there, I think those are acorn squash.
Yep, these are some of the only squash that we purchased and didn't start from seed.
Yep, so far everything you've seen we started from seed.
No, the kale we did not.
Oh, kale we didn't. Okay, not bad. And then here we've got some eggplants. Ooh, do we have one coming?
No, I think it's a weed.
Oh no, it's a different color.
That's why I was leaving it be.
But
we planted these seeds way late, so we'll see. We may not get eggplant this year, but we've never grown it before, never eaten it before, so we thought we would try.
I've eaten it in a eggplant lasagna, and you wouldn't even know that it was there. But I mean, it was good, but there was no distinct flavor to it, but it was good. And then here we've got a few different varieties of tomatoes.
We have yellow pear,
green verde, brandywine pinks, and a couple of these were just survivors, and we thought, no.
This one here was literally a stem with no leaves or branches, but it was still alive, so I took a chance on it, and he's doing pretty good. It was the only yellow pear that we had survive.
Now you guys have to understand too, we got garden excited, I think in February.
Early February.
And I mean, these things have almost died a couple times, and we've just kept them going. We got the greenhouse up and put them in the greenhouse, and I think that truly saved them. So, and then I just mulched these yesterday. Now weeding them was super easy. We just get these itty bitty little weeds, and every morning I'd come out and spend about 3 or 4 minutes on each bed. It was great. But these have gotten big enough now that we could mulch them, so hopefully weeding will be even less tedious. And then this great bed right here, we have a sunflower that
I transplanted a little early, so we'll see if that mammoth one makes it.
And we're trying some watermelon, and
this was bought at a greenhouse. We did not start that, and it's looking a little sad, but it was under a bucket all night.
Yeah.
For fear of frost, so we'll see. Nothing else in here. I think we're gonna put
carrots. There's carrots going over there.
Carrots are going over there. I think here we were gonna do tomatillos, maybe. We have those that need to go in the ground this weekend.
Yep. And then we get to bed number 5.
Whatever number, I don't know.
We've got, like I said, the pumpkins that are going to come up and over here and intermingle with the squash. So that's going to be really cool. We're just going to figure something out to support those pumpkins.
We may leave this bed empty because the pumpkins, we're hoping we get a lot. And
we might just
so we might just let them take over this bed and part of the trellis, but we're not sure how. The pumpkins might be too heavy to trellis up. I don't know. We're going to try. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Then to our next bed, we've got a different type of pea. This is a sugar snap.
Sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy.
Snap pea.
And then we've got broccoli. And on the end, we've got kohlrabi. And these are probably about 15 days out from bulbing and being able to be eaten. And then I started a second batch in here, which I think they're going to get shaded out too much, so I'm probably going to have to start kohlrabi again somewhere else.
Looks like they need to be thinned out too.
Yeah, they do. And rosemary. I love having rosemary throughout the winter. So, and rosemary is, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to grow rosemary from seed, but it's incredibly difficult. I've never been successful at it. So each year I just go to the store and I buy rosemary, get it real nice and bushy, harvest it all, dry it, and then I've got it for all my chicken and fish and stuff I cook during the winter. So there we have that. And over here we've got some Brussels sprouts, and I'm super thrilled about those.
He's lying. He hates Brussels. Those are for me and my son.
Yeah. We've got lettuce and spinach that is, I figured it should have been coming up by now. We just did it a few days ago, so it is what it is.
We have some lavender in my little watering can there.
Yep.
Mr. Chicken.
On the other side here we have cucumber slicers. So they're hopefully going to trellis up real cool.
Are we going this way? These are all our cherry and grape. So these three right here are Brad's Atomic grapes, grape tomatoes from Baker Creek. These three here are Chadwick Cherry. And these ones are some sort of, I don't remember if they're a grape or a cherry, but they're, it's
Principal Borges or Borges or something like that.
Something like that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Our granddaughters, especially the oldest one, she loves tomatoes of any shape, size, color, all of them. So she'll be picking those.
Yep.
With her papa.
And in the corners I've got a couple extra onions that we didn't have room for, but we probably could have stuffed them over in the onion bed, but I don't know, I think it'd be cool to have some sticking out wherever.
I don't know if you can see them on the camera. There's one right here and one right here.
And then in this bed we have bush beans.
Blue Lake.
Blue Lake bush beans. And then on this end, you guys will recognize this name. The Pratt Family Homestead gave us a batch of strawberries that they just didn't have room for, so we put them in. We used to have strawberries on the other side of the garden, but they were just...
I think they'd run their course.
Yeah, I think they had ran their course, and we mowed them over. So down here we've got more tomatoes, and we've got Betelux on the back side here. And then over on this side, we've got, what is it? Oregon Spring. And then these are the Betelux also.
Betelou,
I don't know how you say it.
And Oregon Spring, yep. So there's 4 and 4, I think, right?
Yeah. And again, we started these from seed, and we've just had to nurture them, and you know.
We had a lot that didn't make it, and but what we planted is kind of the best of the best. We'll show you the leftover scragglers toward the end when we go in the greenhouse.
And again, we're thinking about putting carrots here.
Yep, carrots.
And on the other side, we've got Turkish gourds, Turk gourds.
Turk's turban is what they're.
Turk's turban. And hopefully they'll grow up real cool.
Those were started from seed.
Yep.
They're looking good.
Yep. So we move on. This is one of 2 pepper beds. We've got I love pepperoncini, so we've got Italian pepperoncinis in here.
These are Santa Fe Grande. Those are hot peppers on this end. Are these the pepperoncinis?
Yeah, these are all. This is a jam jalapeno.
Tam.
Or tam jalapeno. Both these 2 right here, and the rest of them are Italian pepperoncinis. But I love pickling those and just eating them. Love them.
And here we have more loofahs. I'm really excited to make my own sponges. That's kind of cool to me, my own scrubbies.
Yep. And then here we've got pole beans coming up this trellis here, and over on this side we've got spaghetti squash. We found that we have the ability to store squash pretty good down in our canning room, so we've grown a lot of it.
This was from seed also.
Yep.
I think all except for that acorn and the pumpkins and the watermelon.
Right. And here we've just got a straggler pepper.
The only bell pepper that survived. And he doesn't even like bells. That one's for me.
Yeah, I like bell peppers raw, but I don't like them cooked. Green ones anyway.
We did plant some Swiss chard. It has not broken ground yet. This is buttercup squash.
And then we've got a poblano pepper over here that was a straggler. And then these are cucumbers over here. No, this is acorn squash right here.
Yeah, I planted acorn squash from seed for having forgotten that we purchased some from the greenhouse. So I guess we'll have extra, which is just fine because we love it.
Yep. And this is our radish bed. I love eating radishes. My father-in-law loves them. And Heather actually started eating them this year, but they've gotten pretty big. Just, you know, they get this big and they get really woody. You know, they're kind of soft, and they get a little spicier than what I like too. You know, I like spice, but not so much in my radishes. So we're probably gonna pull all those today.
We also have here, which he always forgets about, butternut squash. Right here, those we just started from seed. They're mixed in with all these radishes that were planted, so the radishes won't be there long.
No. And then we get again to another pepper bed, and I've got a lot of chocolate jalapenos. These, what do I have, 7
This one
or
here
9.
on the corner is a Hungarian hot wax, and I think that corner is also.
All right, so these 8 right here are all chocolate jalapenos. If you guys have never tried those, you dry them and smoke them. They're wonderful. I put a lot of chocolate jalapenos in some of the sausages and salamis I made over the winter too, and it's just a really good flavor. I got a couple paprikas right here.
Got summer squash over here. Oh, we even have a little.
Oh, got a pepper started.
Flower. A little flower.
Got a pepper right here. Well, it's gonna flower first, but
Cute.
yeah, awesome. And then we're on to another tomato bed.
These are Hampsons and Creole.
And yeah, Hampsons. So we're gonna have a lot of tomatoes again this year.
Yeah, well, this is nothing compared to what's in the greenhouse still that I just started.
Yeah. And then these onions we started off from seed. So now these poor guys, they struggled and they died and they came back and they died and they came back. And we finally said, you know what, they've worked so hard. Let's get them in and see what they do. Because we did buy some onion packs from Dixondale Farms, and we've got those in another spot.
We'll show you those in a few minutes.
On the farm. So anyway, we decided to put them in here and see what they'll do, and hopefully they do good. They should. They got a couple of them bulbing out real nice already. So.
And here we have birdhouse gourd. It's planted, so we want to have lots of birdhouses on our property. Our old property was mostly wooded, and so we had birds galore. So we don't have them as much here, but.
Yeah. Okay, and then over here, now this asparagus bed was here when we moved in, and we ate a lot of asparagus already, so I'm letting it go to seed again. And I've got to weed this side of it yet. It hasn't been weeded, but I found out that I am able to do some light mulching under here because weeding through this stuff's difficult. So I'm gonna get it all weeded up and then throw a light layer of just the wood bark mulch that we get from the county when they do up the trees. That's what the whole garden floor is. And on the other side here, eventually we're not sure if we're gonna do raised beds over here too, or if that's gonna be like corn, potatoes, that kind of thing. I've never been real successful growing corn, so I sometimes kind of think it's a waste, but you know.
And we do have this beauty on this side of the garden, which we will be taking extra good care of. This is a mullein plant, which has wonderful medicinal values. So we're excited about that. We had one in the garden last year, and we let it go to seed, and we did harvest some of the leaves.
And this is the stalk.
Yeah, that's from
so
last year.
This will grow out and have yellow flowers all on it. And it's all pretty much seeded out. We just let it rest, and then I broke it down the other day when I was in here mowing.
And we did recently purchase the property right on the other side of these compost bins. It's just under a half an acre, but there are some mulleins growing over there too. So there's also some wild berries,
wild raspberries right in here. And what are the ones? Well, the little
blackcap.
No, they've got the little white flower, and then it's called the real small blackberries.
Elderberries?
Elderberry, yeah, right there.
Elderberry or mulberry?
Elderberry. We've got mulberries out front. There's 2 mulberry trees out front.
We have elderberry?
Yeah, it's right there. I just discovered it the other day mowing. Yeah, so we'll be harvesting that too. Okay, so we're out of the fenced-in garden, and we're over here at our garlic, our potatoes, and our other onion and leek bed. So we got all this garlic. We ordered this from my gardener. This is Ivan.
Yep.
Ivan garlic. And okay, so these Ivan garlics are getting ready to, they're shooting out their scapes. The scapes come right out of the center of the stem, and when they get to a certain point like this, it's probably hard to see, but they'll curl. And when they actually curl and circle around themselves, that's when you want to pull them. You snip them off right down here at the bottom, right at the first leaf. You snip it off, and you can cook those up and fry them in stir fries or whatever. They taste just like, they taste garlicky and oniony. But if you leave that on there, what garlic does is the bulb underneath the ground is its survivable. It's what's going to keep it growing. This is its like second chance. It'll flower and then drop seeds. So what you want to do is once this gets to this certain point is you want to snip it off. That way it won't be sending any power up to the top to grow those flowers. It'll send all the flower down to your bulb. And that's when your bulbs of garlic go boom. They get real big.
Are we going to let one of them go to seed?
I think we may. We'll find the biggest one, let it go to seed. The only thing is when you do that is you don't get big garlics from those seeds. You get real small seeds, small garlics. But anyway, when we were up in Marquette, we got several other varieties at a farmer's market. But okay, we'll move on to, this is our potato bed. We've got sweet potatoes over there, and I just mounded these up yesterday. They probably should have gone in the ground a little while ago, but...
Well, these potatoes and these mounds are nothing special. They're literally store-bought potatoes that started growing in the pantry because we didn't eat them quick enough. And so we thought, why not? We didn't buy any, so we planted them, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. And then I was in the process of weeding onions. We've got just regular white onions right here. We've got leeks. And then purple onions, and these again were all from Dixondale.
Red onions.
I started red onions. Yeah, what did I say? Purple.
Purple.
Yeah. I started weeding them today, and then my back got a little sore, so weeding stuff on my back. But anyway, this is starting to turn out really good for us. I'm excited about these onions.
They're doing really good. They were, when we planted them, they were about as big as our seed onions are in the other garden. So. And then over here we had a pretty scraggly raspberry area. So most of this end of it, they just kind of were really thinning out and not doing well. So we tilled it under. We're actually going to put a whole bunch of more tomatoes over here. So in the greenhouse, we are growing a bunch more tomato plants. We're doing Amish paste tomatoes. We were told or heard or read or somewhere we heard that they were supposed to be really good for making pasta sauce. We've never been really successful at making a thicker pasta sauce.
Good, flavorful, but
delicious.
You just can't thicken it up.
It's just
when
too
you
watery.
go to eat it.
Yeah, so we're hoping these Amish paste tomatoes turn out well for us. I've got a bunch of seedlings, like little. I started them way late, but it's fine. We'll be harvesting them. You know, if we have to cover
September,
them.
October.
If we have to build a mini greenhouse to go over them in November, we might do that. But we will have them. Anyway, yeah, so that's...
I guess we'll show you the greenhouse. And then.
All right, so here's our greenhouse. These are the ones that didn't make the cut to go into the garden, but God bless them, they are still holding on. We probably will put some in the containers and just see what they do. I have such a hard time letting go of them and just discarding them. I gave some to my mom. She has some peppers and tomatoes. These are all zinnias and sunflowers, and then some Amish paste tomatoes. that I planted from seed. I told you they were tiny seeds still. And then we have still some more tomatoes that didn't make it to the garden, some peppers, some thyme that's losing time quickly. It needs to be planted. And my tomatillos, which those are gonna probably go in the garden today. So that's it. That's the greenhouse. So let's go show them the herb garden real quick. All right, so here we have a gorgeous rhubarb patch, which is way past due for harvesting. We'll probably be cutting that this weekend, washing it, trimming it, putting it in the freezer for future pies and rhubarb crisp bars. Deliciousness. I might actually have to find a recipe and make those today.
Make sure you get that from your mom.
Yep. So here's our herb garden. I'm gonna let John kind of go through this.
Okay, now a lot of this was here. Oh, I don't think we've planted anything in here. So we got really fortunate when we moved in here and saw this. I was so excited about it. But we've got white sage, and I don't remember it flowering last year.
It did, but not this early. I feel like it's really early this year. But we had just moved in, so it might have.
It may have, and we just didn't notice.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yep, and we've got a ton of lemon balm.
A ton.
This is actually on my to-do list this weekend, is to get this weeded too, because I'm going to add some other herbs to it. We had a beautiful thing of thyme right here last year.
You can still see some of it.
Yeah, some of it's holding on. This whole thing was thyme. Well, right here, I had a ground bee nest about the size of a coffee cup. And I don't know if they got under there and destroyed the root system.
I'm sure that's what happened.
Or what, but we've got more time to put in there.
That's the one that's running out of time
right.
in the greenhouse.
And then, like, I've got lemon balm going everywhere. So all this lemon balm out here is going to go away. We're going to harvest a bunch of this lemon balm here. We've got several bunches of chives. I'm going to be harvesting these flowers. I think I might be too late.
We might do that oh, you might be too late.
Yeah, okay, we've got Egyptian walking onions. If you don't know what these are, as they get like this, they get heavy and they fall down, and then they'll regrow. Like all these over here came from these here. Now if you go down and you pull one, they're pretty much just like a green onion. They're wonderful. I don't eat as many as I should. Oh, but they smells lemony.
Really? Oh, because of the lemon balm? It's probably just because it was next to the balm. I bet it doesn't taste like it. That's funny though.
We'll be eating some of these today. I'm going to cook up some ribs on the grill. And then we come over this way. We've got a rose bush in here. And then we've got two different types of oregano. Right. But we have basil to plant. We're going to plant calendula
and chamomile. And we bought some spearmint and
peppermint. Because I want to do a tea garden. I love having teas in the winter and stuff like that, and I think it'd be great to have our own that we processed. I watch so many different videos of people where they go out and they harvest all their stuff all year, and then they make these beautiful teas. So I want to copy that. All right, guys. So that was our very first garden tour ever. Hopefully we can get a little better at it and work out some of the bugs. No pun intended. Bugs are not allowed in this garden.
The good bugs are.
The good bugs are, right. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that like button, share our video, let everybody know about us. That'd be great. And you got anything to say?
I don't.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Here at Hodge Podge Homestead, we love showing off our garden. You should too. See you later.
Bye, guys.